That's it.
There's no other place I'd rather be.
Oh, I got a bad start.
Just me between the sun and the sea.
It just do like boom.
Lost in time, feeling fine. Sailing on across the sea. There's no other place. There's no other place I'd rather be.
I'd really like to see the Chinese go in.
Gotta get away from the city's speed. That's something I don't need. Hanging on to what's been said. Living on the razor's edge. That's something I don't need.
The next starting procedure.
Okay, we've got the death flag up. Anybody, absolutely anybody over the line within 1 minute will be disqualified from the entire race. And you'll be asked to go to the beach. And we'll keep this up until there are 5 boats left. And you Italians out there who are leaving at 1 minute, we'll get you first.
With 11 world titles up for grabs, competition begins in a fierce, unbending manner.
379! Those numbers are to leave the course area!
350 of the world's best are in Perth, seeking honour and glory for themselves and the 22 countries they represent.
If I start calling out the numbers, they are disqualified, so I want those numbers kept.
For the capital of Western Australia, the chance to show herself off on the world stage. She's playing host to the largest sailing regatta ever held on the world's largest island. Basking on the shores of the Indian Ocean and more than 3,000 kilometres west of the national capital Canberra, Perth is relishing the chance to kick up her heels and show why her inhabitants believe she offers utopia. To sample her delights, sailors have come from all parts of the globe. From the Americas to Africa, Europe to Asia, for the first time from mainland China. Japan too is taking part, so too Mexico, Papua New Guinea and Singapore. Despite differences in race, colour and creed, there is a common bond to bind these very different people together. Their love of competition in sport and the human drive to come to terms with wind and water. For 8 days in the middle of an Australian summer, they will do battle in their quest to be best. They will compete in 4 events.
Just a little out that way.
Triangle racing, slalom, freestyle, and the marathon, with the best overall performers winning the pentathlon title for men and women. The men will race in 4 divisions, separated by weight. In the marathon, there will be only 2 divisions, men and women. To ensure equal opportunity, each competitor is issued with a new windsurfer and rig. All are identical. Skill can now be the only influence in finding the champions. The first event is the grueling marathon. More than 30 kilometres of body-wrenching torture in a strengthening southwesterly breeze. Notoriously known as the Fremantle Doctor because of its cooling qualities, the breeze will test the mettle of the best sailors late this Saturday afternoon.
Should be a lot of fun, really. This southwester is the, what do you call it, the Fremantle Doctor. If it comes in, it should be a fun day.
I'm sure the weather pattern will settle out in the next couple of days.
What do you think of the marathon course?
It's a long one, that's for sure.
The wind's pretty gusty out here. We're not used to that. But they're okay. It's not too much wind today, so...
Where are you from?
From Denmark. And, well, in Denmark we sail on the ocean, so the winds are more stable.
It's alright, but it's a little bit fluky, you know. The winds are too gusty.
Where are you from?
Papua New Guinea.
This place is very good for windsurfing and sailing because there is every day a lot of wind. There is the sea breeze that can be 30 knots, and so it's very good for racing.
For me it's pretty good. I like the strong wind here.
Where do you come from?
From Holland.
Do you speak English?
Speak English.
Do you like Australia?
Huh?
Like Australia?
Three, five, one, 3, 4.
The blaze of colour that sets Perth's Swan River alight is also to ignite the fuse of over-enthusiasm. 4 times the starting line is broken before the start gun is fired.
General recall, general recall.
4 times the fleet is called back.
Okay, those people are out.
For some, the marathon is to end at the beginning.
Okay, general recall, general recall. All those numbers that I called, please go to the beach.
Finally, nearly an hour after the first attempt to start the race, the 11th World Championships are underway.
2, 3, 8, you're over! All clear except for those 2. All clear except for those 2. Individual.
The fleet scatters over the full width of the river, searching for an advantage in the fluctuating breeze. As the race wears on and the physical demands increase, the fit and the strong take control. Australians, racing in peak season, surge through the fleet, beginning a domination that is to continue through the championships. Leading East Coast board sailors Bobby Wilmot and Bruce Wiley break clear of the pack and settle down for a one-on-one showdown. Wilmot's white sail shows the way early. For the leader, however, a brush with disaster at the second last mark. Caught unawares by the wind, Wilmot suffers a rare fall and sees Wiley sail past. The duelling continues. But on the final upwind leg, it's Wilmot who takes the lead again. He goes on to take the gun and to claim the first world crown of the championships.
Pretty close at some stages. Pretty close at some stages.
It's going to be the closest race we've had. Rosie and I always have close racing. I think the world's will be even closer though.
Did you think you'd win it?
No, I was about 10 for the first mark. I went the wrong side of the river. But just got to work harder and catch up to it.
Well done.
It's a long way to go yet.
9 of the top 10 marathon places go to Australians. Breaking the clean sweep is Frenchman Gilles Calvet. While the men sail back to shore, attention turns to the women. History is being made. Radio reports place a Chinese girl in the lead. The unexpected happens. China, competing for the very first time in a World Yachting Championship, is to score a win. Young Zhao Zheng takes the gun to the delight of teammates and supporters. Stunned Western competitors have to settle for minor placings. Carol Ann Ali from Canada grabs second place with Sarah Kenny of Australia third. Out of the total field of 360, only 225 reach the finish. The Fremantle doctor has taken its toll. While the men and women are racing side by side in a marathon, they're to be split into separate divisions for the remainder of the championship, except for one contest where they'll combine their talents. Tandem freestyle, an event being staged as an exhibition with a view to it becoming part of the next championships, is the event to follow. With grace, aplomb, and the occasional slip, the competitors go before the judges.
Wave your hand!
When you wave your hand, the music will start.
In the end, the winners are found. Germany's Fritz Schoen and Australia's Sonja Dobrinsky. As the world's most remote capital city, Perth enjoys an isolation that's kept her secrets hidden, even though she's one of Australia's oldest cities. With more than 90% of the state's population of little more than 1 million living in or around Perth, Western Australia is one of the world's most sparsely populated regions. Despite her insignificance by world standards, Perth burst into international headlines in 1983 when this unusual-looking yacht named Australia 2 rocked the American establishment to its foundations. In winning the America's Cup, Australia 2 broke the longest winning streak in sporting history, an unbroken chain of victories spanning 132 years. In doing so, she catapulted Perth's satellite city Fremantle into the limelight as a venue for the first ever Cup defence outside America. The Cup that up to 24 nations will seek in 1987 remains an irresistible lure to yachtsmen worldwide. For defending world windsurfer pentathlon champion Matt Schweitzer of Hawaii, the lure is also great.
Whoa! There she is.
I think if they had this for the windsurfer class.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Australia did it again. My father was a surfer, and a friend of his was a sailor, and they kind of talked about it and tried to figure, if they could join the sail on the surfboard, and finally figured it out after watching us fall all over the place.
Why do you think the Windsurfer is such a popular sort of sailboard?
One reason, it's a one-design sailboard, and that is everyone's on the same boat. And this way, you know if somebody's ahead of you, it's not because of their board, it's because of you. And right now there's a lot of open class racing, and people just don't understand or can't afford to buy and keep up to date with all the new materials and such. It's one design racing is becoming more popular, and open class racing is actually becoming pretty slow right now.
As the triangle racing gets underway, the Fremantle Doctor again obliges with a strengthening breeze. This, the oldest form of windsurfer racing, will be decided on the best 6 out of 7 results during the week. The course is an Olympic triangle. It begins with a beat to windward, then a reach to the wing mark where competitors jibe and reach again for the start. Next, it's another beat to windward, followed by a run downwind, and then the final beat to the finish. In the first race in the lightweight division, 55 sailors face the starter's gun. There's to be a surprise with Scott McKersher from Western Australia winning. Second goes to Japan's Iwaashi, with France's Gilles Calvet third. In this, the second lightweight race, division favourite Calvet again plays second fiddle to an Australian. Although he shows surprising skills in the fluky breeze, Calvet cannot catch local sailor Grant Betts. The two race man-on-man up the final leg of the 3 nautical mile course, with Betts just winning.
How was it?
Pretty good. Nice win.
Brisbane got a big place to you there at one stage.
Yeah, just only covering him up the last leg. It was pretty good.
Always confident?
Yeah.
Can you win some more?
Defending World Division champion Greg Hyde from Sydney is seen pre-series as a hot favourite to take out the medium weights. With his gold sail and trademark washing hat, he takes little time to show why in race 1. Hyde continues with perfect scores in races 2 and 3. He's followed home by Australia's John Buick in race 1 and race 3. New Zealand's Olympic representative Bruce Kendall grabs second in race 2, but Hyde is setting a scorching pace.
The light heavyweight division is to prove the most open of the championship.
The first 3 races provide 3 different winners. Race 1 goes to Australia's Bruce Wiley ahead of Carl Nierinik of Belgium. Nierinik goes on to take race 2 with Australia's Bobby Wilmot second. In this third race, Wilmot is to register his first win ahead of Bruce Wiley and defending pentathlon champion Matt Schweitzer. Wilmot's white sail, number 361, is to be prominent throughout the week. For the heavyweights, Perth's stiff summer breezes create perfect conditions. But again, it's local sailors who dominate. After 3 races, Greg Johns of Australia leads fellow countryman Grant Long, with Sweden's Arto Kantajavi third. One of the pre-championship favourites, Australian Tom Ledecky, is disqualified in race 1 and after 3 races appears to have lost all chance of winning. China's win in the marathon has thrown the women's section into confusion. Zhao Zhang was not even mentioned in pre-championship speculation, but now looms as a serious challenger. In race 1 of the triangles, she's out to prove a point. Carrying 976 as the last 3 numbers on her sail, Zhao sails away from the fleet and into a clear lead. Just 3 nautical miles later, China's place as a dominant force in the championship is confirmed. Zhao Zhang wins her 2nd race in a row. Her favoured rivals are nowhere to be seen. 2nd place goes to Julova Osterberg of Sweden, with Italian Sensini 3rd. The hotshots emerge in races 2 and 3, with Canada's Caroline Ali beating defending world champion and fellow Canadian Karen Morsch in race 2. Holland's Jolanda de Jong scores in race 3 from Melanie Braun of Australia. The performance that has everyone talking, however, is that of Zhao Zhang. It does much to open the whole competition right up. Language barriers are broken down in the name of sport.
From Canada, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Canada.
Caroline.
Caroline. In Chinese, your name
Caroline.
is Caroline.
You can call me CA.
CA.
CA for short.
Okay. Caroline. We remember you.
Jang.
Yeah.
It's Jang.
Jang. Yeah.
2 days I've been trying to say, I got me, Caroline, you, what? You? I mean, she never know.
Okay. 记住她卡罗兰。
卡罗兰.
During a break in triangle racing, Jolanda de Jong from Holland and Sweden's Annie Janssen head for Perth Zoo and their first meeting with some of Australia's natural inhabitants.
There's a dark one. Maybe that's a few.
Where?
It's laying on the ground there.
I will see a baby.
Why do you like the Windsurfer class as distinct from other kinds of sailboards?
Everyone has the same board. It's just the person who make. It doesn't depend on the things, the material. It just depends on the person. And the people are nice in the Windsurfer class. They're funny.
Do you think you can win one of the world championships?
No, I don't think it's too strong, and it's not high season for me, so I'm not in the best shape.
You'd rather race in your own summertime?
Yeah.
What about you? You're in a good position. Do you think you can win a world championship?
Well, I had a bad start yesterday, and but I had a chance to win because I'm more better than in strong winds. But I started bad, so I will see what I do further.
While strength and power bring results in racing, agility and balance score highest in the next stage of the World Championships. In calmer waters close to shore, the preliminary freestyle events are held. Here all contestants combine, divided only by sex. 16 will qualify in the men's division. The finalists come from 7 countries: Germany, Mexico, America, Canada, Zimbabwe, France and Australia. Champion French sailor Gilles Calvet is forced to withdraw from all freestyle competition because of blistered hands. For him, it's time to reflect on performances so far.
I'm not doing very well, but I'm still sailing okay. I haven't been sailing Windsurfer since a few months, so I'm not very used to it, but I'm getting better and better, so I think I will do pretty good at the end.
Well, at least no one else has a chance to.
While Calvet continues to be with the leaders in the lightweight triangle section overall, it's Australians dominating the championship. Leading the way is Sydney's Greg Hyde, who, with girlfriend Sarah Kenny, has travelled the world seeking competition and pleasure from sailboarding. For Greg and Sarah, the first time they've made a combined assault on the world titles.
We tend to have a lot better boat handling skills than people from other parts of the world because we have the wind and we can sail all year round. I think what you'll find in this World Championships, well, I hope I'm right, but I think this will tell if we are a very good board sailing nation or we just practice a lot, I think.
I really started board sailing when I first met Greg, and he's encouraged me and I've learned a lot from him, and just sailing with him I've had to get better a lot quicker to keep up with him in practice.
As if preordained, Perth summer breezes are to stall the championship midweek. Temperatures soaring towards 36 degrees Celsius see the wind evaporate. On course B, it's now a waiting game for the heavyweights. On course A, the women are racing, but wind and time are running out. For those who've mastered the fickle winds to sail to a lead, it's pure frustration. Everything is happening in slow motion.
What do you think of the conditions?
It was terrible. Thank God it was cancelled. I knew it was going to be cancelled at the first mark because we've been 30 minutes into the race, so it was only going to die. It's been doing the same for 10 days. They should know.
The problem now is how to get back to shore. Eventually, the breeze returns and racing resumes. Again, frustration for Calvet in the lightweight division. A poor start sees him in trouble and forces him to fight his way through the fleet. As Calvet struggles, fellow countryman Yves Newsman sails away with the race.
The previous race I had the lead and I lost just in the end. And now I start understanding this place at last. It's too late.
Calvet, claiming to be the victim of team tactics by the Australians, is fourth.
I was catching up someplace, and two Australians, they just keep controlling me all the time. So I think it's totally unfair, and if they want a national championship of Australia, they can have it, but I'm not going to do the last race if it's like this.
24 hours later, Calvet is to get his revenge with a stunning win in race 5. He is now starting to take control of the series. In the medium weights, Greg Hyde sees his domination broken in race 4. He turns in his worst performance. His troubles begin with a poor start, from which he does not recover. With Hyde struggling back in the pack, race 4 settles down as a battle between Nagy of France and Kendall of New Zealand. At the gun, it's Nagy home first. Kendall must settle for his second placing.
Do you think you can win the championship?
I don't know. I didn't say windsurfer for 3 years. I'm improving each race, but I don't know. He's far ahead.
Hyde, stunned by his poor race 4 performance, faces the starter in race 5 with new aggression. His all-yellow sail is soon out in front. Hyde is back in control. He goes on to win his 4th race from 5 starts. Second again goes to the consistent Bruce Kendall.
Right? I got a good start. I was still in the 2nd or 3rd row, had clear air. There were guys above me, but I still had clear air, so I could just blast out.
Now you're in a better position, to retain the championship?
Yeah, definitely.
Sweden's Anders Bringdahl tastes success in the 4th light heavyweight triangle race. Race 5, however, is to give us the first real indication of who can win the world crown. Early on, it's a contest between Bruce Wiley, last 3 sail numbers 019, America's Matt Schweitzer, 948, Willem Asselberg's 979, and Sweden's Patrick Troell, 035. The lead changes several times. Racing is keen. At the gun, it's Wiley who wins the day. He now leads the division from Bobby Wilmot.
Matt seemed to be catching you towards the end.
Yeah, right up the last feet a bit, and I think I was just a bit shaky. Then I settled down and sailed the last little bit, and I pulled away again, so it's all right.
Matt, that was close.
Yeah, it's almost too late for me to win now, but I wish the wind was like this all the time.
How do you think Bruce sailed?
Oh, great. I was catching him though.
The heavyweight division, however, remains wide open. Race 4 goes to Australia's Brad Hiles from countryman Tom Ludecki. In the 5th race comes the 5th different winner when Hans van Anholt of Sweden is first home ahead of Australia's Greg Johns. To everyone's surprise, Zhao Zhang continues to consolidate her position in the women's division. She's second to Holland's de Jong in race 4 and then wins the 5th race from Sweden's Ylva Osterberg. For Australia's Sarah Kenny, race 5 is to all but signal the end of her quest for a world crown.
So I tagged and passed behind her, well, would have passed behind her, but she kept coming down on me.
Yeah, we got started it.
Well, I didn't notify the committee.
Doesn't matter. Just do it. Okay?
You're protesting.
Yeah, just rule 36, write your name. First, if you can find out who she was.
God, I don't even know who she was.
Sorry, I can't help you.
What happened, Sarah? I lost my sail and...
You were first. You were in the lead.
Yeah. I'm learning. Next time, stay right away. I don't think I want to win somehow.
The 11th World Championships bring together the cream of the world's board sailors. But being the best is no guarantee of smooth sailing all the time. By the time the lay day of the championship arrives, expectations are for a day of rest. But for a small group of competitors, relaxation is to be only a change of location. Margaret River, 300 kilometres south of Perth. The uniqueness of the land down under strikes home yet again as fireworks herald in the new year. For competitors from the Northern Hemisphere, a rare chance to celebrate the turn of the calendar at the height of summer. The celebrations unite 22 nations as one. For Canadian freestyle sensation Jackie Brown, the celebrations are to come to an abrupt halt, as are her chances of success. On New Year's Day, she is nursing the legacy of some over-enthusiastic revellers. 6 stitches in a badly cut foot are her welcome to 85.
Last night at the New Year's party, I was going up to the stage to dance with a friend, and a bottle was being thrown somewhere, and I accidentally stepped on it. And ended up getting cut, and they rushed me to the hospital, and I got 6 stitches.
Having come halfway round the world, Jackie is not to be denied. In a rare show of courage, she'll compete, stitches and all. The women's freestyle preliminaries are held 24 hours after the accident.
With my crutches.
Was it worth going through, do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
How do you think you went?
All right. Too many dropped the sails, though. Just I can't. It's hard to keep your balance.
Was it painful?
Yeah. Karen to the rescue. God, is that depressing to watch? That's so depressing. I know you can do so much better. Oh. Good on you for trying. How was it? All right, pretty good. It hurts.
Despite the injury and several falls, Jackie Brown qualifies for the final. A field of 10 will make up the finals. Brown will have pain-killing injections before competing. Her performance is courageous to the extreme, but the injury takes its toll. Unhampered, the remainder of the finalists put on a dazzling display. Some 6 hours after the completion of the final, the judges announce their decision as the sun sets. Lisa Penfield Edwards of the Virgin Islands is the new world champion. Carol Ann Ali is second.
Yay, Australia! Great wins, great people. Sailing's your mascot. It's great, I love it.
How does it feel to be a world women's freestyle champion?
It's a relief because I have a family and I left them to come here and win the world, and I did it, and so I don't feel so bad now about being away from my child and the terrific conditions that we have in the Virgin Islands.
Next is to come one of the truly remarkable performances of the championships, unexpectedly in the men's freestyle final. The winner is tipped to come from a group of 5 sailors. Bruce Wiley, Australia. Defending champion Derek Wolfe, Canada. Matt Schweitzer, USA, Neil O'Zib, Mexico, and Fritz Schon, Germany. With 4 of the top 5 judged, there is little to separate them. But to come is Germany's Fritz Schon, with one of the most remarkable routines ever seen on a windsurfer. Schon's outstanding performance is claimed the winner even before the points are tallied. He has achieved moves never seen before. He came with one purpose, to win the freestyle crown. He achieves his goal. With just 2 triangle races to go and the slalom finals to be decided, the stage is now set to find the pentathlon men's and women champions and the division title holders. Only 2 men remain in the pentathlon, Bruce Wiley and Greg Hyde. Hyde, however, has suffered badly because of his controversial 15th in the freestyle final. Canada's Caroline Ali and the sensational Zhao Zhang are fighting for the women's crown. Ali, however, holds a commanding lead. In the slalom elimination final, Zhao Zhang must win if she is to catch Ali. In the first quarter, Zhao Zhang is eliminated. De Jong outsails Ali and goes straight into the final. Ali must now beat Kenny if she hopes to win the slalom crown. Race 13 goes to the Canadian, who will now meet De Jong in the sail-off. As the gun fires, Ali and De Jong lock in an intense struggle. In a fading breeze, Ali takes the first race. But they must race again. De Jong has only lost 1 race in the series, and she must lose another if Ali is to be declared world slalom champion. The gun fires for the final time. De Jong gets to the lead and stays there. She goes on to win the slalom crown. A late protest by Ali is dismissed. She must settle for second place once again. Her consistency, however, looks set to win her the pentathlon title. For Yolanda de Jong, the spoils of victory.
Australian champagne. You might like to share some with your second place getter too.
You want some?
What did you think of the wind?
Well, it was a little bit too light and it was very shifty, so you had to be a little bit more alert. But in the first final, I lose, which was also a little bit shift, and I fall away and there was no wind. And second, I won. So
You must be happy to win a world championship in Australia.
Yeah, I'm very happy now.
With just 2 triangle races remaining and the men's slalom final to be decided, tension is high on the final 2 days. In the lightweights, Gilles Calvet puts the issue beyond doubt in race 6 with another stylish win. Second place goes to Frenchman Yves Noseman, with Holm of Sweden third. Calvet makes sure of his world crown in the 7th and final heat when he finishes second to Holm. Third place goes to the consistent Stuart Gilbert, who goes on to take the silver medal in the lightweights. The medium weights continue to be dominated by Hyde, who makes it 5 wins from 6 starts in race 6. Bruce Kendall again finishes second, with Dougal Knox third. The silver medal overall in the mediums, however, goes to John Buick of Australia, with Robert Nagy third from France. Bruce Wiley's consistency keeps him in the lead in the light heavyweight division. He finishes second to Anders Bringdahl in race 6 with Bobby Wilmot third. In the final race of the series, Gilbert Lachlan of Australia takes the gun from Arthur Brett. Patrick Troell finishes third. Wiley, however, wins the division from Bobby Wilmot and Bringdahl. With 2 races to go, the heavyweights is a battle between Tom Ledecky, Greg Johns and Hans van Aanholt. Little happens to change the picture in race 6 with Ledecky winning from Van Aanholt and Johns. In race 7, the heavyweights crown is still undecided. Ledecky with sail 366 gets away to a good start. Close behind is Galvin of Australia and Van Aanholt. Johns is nowhere to be seen. On the final leg, Ledecky is off on his own. The heavyweight championship of the world awaiting.
It's good. It's a thrill. Easier the second time round? No, it was much harder this year. It was really a battle. What do you think of today's race? It was a good race, great win, everything. I did everything right, so I came out ahead.
With her win in the pentathlon all but confirmed with a second in the marathon, second in the freestyle, second in the slalom, and currently second in the triangles, Carol Ann Ali is still in with a chance of overtaking Zhao in the final 2 races to finish on top in the triangle racing sequence. In race 6, however, her chances dissolve. She finishes third behind Melanie Braun and the Chinese star. In the final race, she must hope for a miracle. As the gun fires, Ali gets away to a good start and is just behind the leaders. Showing the way is Karen Morse, who at last appears to have found form. On the final leg, Morse sails away to a close but decisive win. Ali finishes 5th and Zhao 9th. Ali must be satisfied with second once again, this time in the triangles. She has, however, won the pentathlon title.
Finish! All right, thanks, Coach. And you won! We're both world champions, all right.
We did it.
We did it, man.
How's it feel, Carol?
And feels great. All right, woohoo!
On the final day, the last event to be decided is the men's slalom. The only man who can beat Bruce Wiley for the pentathlon gold is Greg Hyde. But his chances are only slim. Wiley must be eliminated early and Hyde must win. The odds are against it. Wiley has not been beaten in slalom for more than a year. The field of 16 is soon cut to 8. Although Hyde has not been eliminated, nor has Wiley, and he looks set to claim the pentathlon crown. When the field is narrowed even further, Hyde lines up against Brad Hiles. Hiles takes the race and Hyde must be satisfied with 5th place. He is no longer assured of second spot in the pentathlon because Tom Ledecky is still in the slalom and can overtake Hyde with a win or second. In the next race, Brad Hiles faces Ledecky. Ledecky wins again and will now face the loser of Wiley and Schweitzer. Wiley is still undefeated and will look on as Ledecky and Schweitzer battle to find who will meet him in the final. Timeout is called as Ledecky eliminates Schweitzer. He's got just 1 minute to recover for the final. Tension is high as the final begins. Wiley is obviously nervous.
Oh!
A rare slip by Wiley gives Ledecky the edge. But it's not to last. Sensational power sailing by Wiley sees him take the final to add the slalom title to his light heavyweight success and the overall pentathlon title.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You did it the hard way.
Yeah. It's been a good year.
What happened at the end there when you came off?
Just sort of lost a bit of control. It's been a long day.
That's a good result, the triangles and now the slalom.
And the pentathlon as well. 3 world titles in one day. Stoked. That's unbelievable.
How much effort do you put into winning it?
I put a lot of effort into it. I've been travelling this year, all this year, travelling and competing in different events, spending a lot of money. And maybe do it again next year, just depends on how much support I can get.
Make it all worthwhile?
It does. This and the gold medal. Good year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
With the racing now over, all that is left is to hail the champions.
World Masters Pentathlon.
In all, 11 world titles are decided in 9 days. Australia dominates with 5. China wins 2. Germany, France, Holland, the United States and Canada won each. To the winners, rewards and satisfaction. World champions in their sport. For Bruce Wiley of Australia and Carol Ann Ali of Canada, the pentathlon crowns for all-round excellence. The 11th World Windsurfer Championships draw to a close as they began, in the spirit of sport and competition.
There's no other place I'd rather be. Just me between the sun and the sea.
Also from Sydney, and playing Wembley at the Great High.